Intensive care units save tens of thousands of lives across Australia every year. But life inside an ICU can be traumatic.
I felt like jet lag because there was no day night. It was just the lights on the whole time, buzzers going off the whole time.
I just felt scared and lost, and I didn't know what had happened to me, and I really couldn't understand what had happened.
Physiotherapist Øystein Tronstad is trying to find a better way. He's designing an intensive care unit where critically ill patients can still feel at home.
Very rarely do we actually ask the patients about their needs, and if you look at who actually spends time in the bed space, it's the patient.
It looks like something out of science fiction.
Yeah, it is to a certain degree. It's becoming...
This is what his team hopes the ICU of the future will look like. Cocoon-like pods where patients can get a good night's sleep.
I think the sleep is just critical. We all know how it feels when we are exhausted. It's not healthy.
I don't ever want to see that again, and I wish nobody to go through it.
We'll go across the gravel nice and slow.
Amy Shields spent 2 months in intensive care last year because of septicemia and total organ failure. Her toes turned gangrenous and had to be amputated. And for a while, Amy nearly lost her mind.
I wanted to watch netball, which I've never watched in my life. I wanted to listen to a certain radio station that I'd never listened to. I was asking for odd things.
You were delirious?
Definitely.
Even for us it was scary, just not knowing. And that for her not to know like what was actually going on was scary. To think like, is there something medically wrong, or is this what's going to continue?
Amy suffered from a serious yet little-known condition called ICU delirium.
Delirium is, I guess, a type of brain failure, and like an acute brain failure. So when you're sick, you can have heart failure, lung failure, but your brain can also fail.
It can have long-term consequences.
Well, you're twice as likely to die while you're in ICU if you get delirium. You're 3 times as likely to die in the first 6 months afterwards. You're also 9 times as likely to get a cognitive impairment afterwards.
Even if patients don't go delirious, intensive care can still make recovery difficult, as Luke Harding found out when 16 months ago he had a critical heart attack.
The lights, the buzzers, the noise, obviously you can hear and experience everybody else's experience that they're going through right next door, obviously your own experiences and trauma at the time.
Not a great place to get your head together.
No, it's not.
I know he just couldn't wait to get out of there, so that frustration and that urgency probably didn't necessarily help a recovery either. Being more worried about getting out of somewhere than actually relaxing and being at peace with where you are, I think adds to the trauma of it all.
Øystein Tronstad's ICU of the future gets rid of the loud alarms and uses natural light.
So we think we're halfway there, and what we really need to do next is now starting to actually build a physical space that reflects the concept we come up with.
It's brilliant. I mean, the fact that they can actually look at this thing and actually care about the well-being and allow patients to rest and have lighting that reflects night and day to encourage the well-being and resting of patients is terrific.
Research funding has almost run out, so Brisbane's Prince Charles Hospital's charity arm is launching an appeal.
Well, initial target is $1 million from the public. That way we can develop the prototype and put it into a hospital space, and then we can evaluate its effectiveness.
Good.
It's more than just making patients more comfortable. Recovering from the psychological impact of delirium can be a greater challenge than overcoming physical injuries.
I still can walk small distances. I can still function as normal as possible, but the other side of it's the hardest.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.